So pretty much every good conversation that is one I have comes from one of us having like a realization about something, and then we end up bringing it to the podcast, literally like we always say. So the other night we were walking and I was literally having like realizations with Isabel as I was telling her about my weekend and just talking. And I came to a big realization like later in the night. I was showering, of course, like thinking about everything we were saying. And it was really just about social media and its impact on our reality. And the type of social media that we are in now is truly, it's a part of our reality. Like there's almost no line between what is real life and what is fake life, because we're
Hmm.
constantly on social media, we're constantly posting, we're constantly consuming other people's stuff. So then we don't know the difference between like our real life and what is being portrayed on Instagram, and then what we like, just everything from like likes, dislikes, relationships, what we want out of our future, goals, everything. I feel like it gets so distorted by social media. And I was just having a realization like you kind of have to take a step back and snap yourself back into like what is reality,
Hmm.
because I don't know, recently I feel like I've been impacted by social media and its harmfulness, and like I'm like a victim to it right now. So
Yeah,
that was just like a major like, whoa, I want to talk about this because everyone needs to be brought back to like actual reality once in a while.
you're so right, Kateri. There really is not even a line anymore, I would say, behind between real life and social media. Like, even thinking on how we all curate our own individual Instagrams, thinking about like when people post, or, when I look back on my Instagram, I remember one night, which like this sounds crazy to me, but it's what social media does. I was like going through my Instagram and I was like, oh my God, like I'm literally so ugly in all of these posts. And I was getting like really mean to myself, but I was just like, ew, like I literally look so bad. And then when I went to bed that night, I went to bed believing that I was ugly because I looked ugly on social media. And I was like, just like who I am on social media does not mean that I'm ugly in real life. It was just crazy to me that because I thought I was ugly on Instagram, I thought that meant I was ugly in real life. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, that's not always reality. Like, social media is like what you said, it's not reality. And I was like, whoa, like
And
that was just
even,
crazy to me.
yeah, even like the photos that you post, the photos that we post, it's not really reality either. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're posing in a photo, maybe sometimes it's more like a candid photo walking, but then our face isn't in it, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
the ones with my face in it, I'm standing there, I'm posing, I know that like you're taking a photo of me. So even that is not like true, authentic, real life.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get worked into exactly like appearance and what other content creators are putting out there and how we think that they're being super authentic and putting out that type of content. How can we do that more? And then it's like all we are is focusing on putting out content. And I'm like, when am I just living life to live life?
Mm-hmm.
When is that okay? And when am I allowed to just do something without feeling like I need to document it, not for my own pleasure of like having the documentation, but the documentation like for social media,
Yeah,
which is what it comes down to a lot.
that's so true. It's like, do we even want to make the reel, or do we just see it and now feel the pressure too?
To do it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's really difficult actually. It's hard living in a society where social media is so present. It's really hard to overcome that. I'm happy that we're aware of it. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
the first step, is becoming aware that there is no line between it, and we may get caught up in it sometimes, because that's how you can kind of take a step back and remove yourself from it and remind
Mm-hmm.
yourself of that and bring that peace to your mind. But it really is crazy that we just like live a life for social media. That's what it feels like these days. Like everything is for social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I'm going on this trip. Great. I can have a million posts from, like, I studied abroad. Oh my God, how many posts can I get out from social media for social media? Like, are we doing anything simply because we want to do it? Or are we
I
doing
know.
it to store it? Are we going to brunch to post our martinis? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, like,
oh
are we
my
wearing
God.
a cute outfit because we want to get like a good photo in it, then to post on Instagram so then people can see like all of our cute clothes?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. I'm not saying that I don't do that and I won't continue to do it. But like you said, it's good to almost come to the realization, and for people like us who are content creators to make it available or recognize it so that our listeners can be like, okay, whoa, like I don't always need to be living for social media. And it
Mm-hmm.
takes like a moment of when I was like, holy shit, the past 2 weeks, I feel like I was just like in consumption mode. And I felt it deteriorating in so many areas of my life. And I was like, what the heck is happening? And it was that. I was like, oh, I'm going on a date with Tyler. Like, let me take content because I want to story this later and show that like we go on dates. For what?
That's a hard truth to come to terms to
Literally,
tell
it's
yourself too.
for what? Like, I love documenting like our year and everything as a couple. I love taking photos just to have, but then I'm like, I know in the back of my mind I'm also taking those like for social media. And I'm like, that's just like one instance of what social media can do in a
Yeah.
relationship too. Like, that was another thing that I came to the realization about, was really like its impact of, let's sum up my TikTok feed right now. My TikTok feed is sourdough starter because I'm getting fascinated by it. Mom's been baking sourdough and I'm like, why the heck aren't
Aren't you?
helping
Like,
her?
what are you doing?
What am I doing? Like, this is what I want to be doing. Why aren't I doing it? So TikTok is like sourdough videos, mainly sourdough starter because I'm obsessed with looking at it. And then like some funny content, some like skincare content and what tools I need, and then like relationships. And I just find myself, I'll like watch a video about a relationship, about like what the man should do, or even just about like a couple. I'm seeing them going on a date and
Jet and Pookie.
literally like, oh, what is he buying her? Like, where's he taking her? And oh, his bouquet of flowers is bigger than the ones I get. Like all this little shit. And then I'll like bring things to Tyler and talk about like something I saw on social media, and he's like, why are you comparing that to our relationship? Like, does that have anything to do with us? And it took me to be like, whoa, like, no.
Yeah.
Literally no. And then I started thinking, and what I was saying to Isabel was, half of the shit I feel like I might worry about in a relationship and being about like committed to a person and thinking about the future, would those even be worries in my brain if someone on social media wasn't bringing those up to me? Like, would I actually care about that? And I don't know, like that just sent me to be like,
No, that's a crazy thought. That's a
Yeah,
crazy
like,
thought because it's like, is that only in my mind because I saw it on social media and I think that's something I should be worried about? Like, if we did not have phones, if we weren't in this generation, like, would any of the red flags that we've noticed be red flags? You know, or did someone tell me that he should hold the door for me every single time, and now every time he does it, I'm like, well, you should. Well, you
and
should.
then
The
it's
girl
like,
told me that you don't like me, you don't respect me if you don't hold the door.
exactly.
Like,
And I'm like not every door is gonna be open for you. Like,
literally,
that's
and
just,
like, I don't want every door open for me. Like, I can do that. Like,
I know. And like,
we set these it sets these standards for like,
I'm a quick mover. I move quicker than most.
I literally in the same way. I'm like, I can grab the door for me because like I'm just so like at the,
I'm gonna get to the car
I'm
first.
literally
Like, I will get to my side way before you. It'll be a waste of my time to stand there and wait for you to open the door.
that's
Like,
literally the
when
truth of the
Tyler
matter
like
though.
has to open, like when he's like, I want to open your, he runs ahead of me. I like
It's
runs,
so
and I just
funny.
crack up because I'm like, you have to run or else I'm gonna speed walk there.
Yeah, I'm like, if I get there first, like the door's being opened by me.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna wait. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.